Tonight's broadcast is about to begin. Thank you for joining us on Cedar Creek Media.
This is J.D. Bird. You are listening to Mabank Sports here on Cedar Creek Media.
It's showtime!
All right, here we go, and we're in, JD, and again, we're a couple of minutes early when we thought game time was going to be starting, but they said play ball, so dadgummit, it's play ball for all, including us, so if we're a little discombobulated here at the start, we do apologize, folks, but we are ready for some Mabank athletics, and of course it is softball here tonight. As always, we are Cedar Creek Media. I'm Taylor Honey.
I'm J.D. Bird.
And we are happy to be here with you. Yeah, it is another rivalry matchup here. We've been here quite a few times so far this year, and I tell you, every time these two teams get together, there's always something fun going on, whether it's on the basketball court, volleyball court, football, and then now, of course, we're getting to see it on the hardball side as well. So, yeah, we're just ready to get it rocking and rolling here. Now, I'm not going to lie, I had a little trouble procuring the Kemp roster. So I did get it off of the announcements, but I did miss one young lady's last name. So let me go ahead and give you the rundown, the best I got. And I missed a number for this first young lady, unfortunately. So Madison Haney is going to be leading things off. She's going to be playing third base for Kemp. Second will be Allie Pringle. She'll be in center field. Then you got A.J. Hu will be at second base. And then number 5, Brooklyn. She'll be the catcher. And I'm sorry, that's the one I missed the last name. Going to be followed by Marley Moore. She's going to be playing first base. Then Katie Neighbors at shortstop. Chelsea Roscoe in left field. Chloe Smith in right field. And then Emma McKenna is going to be on the mound. Then over for your Mabank Lady Panthers, going to be leading off will be the catcher, Gibbon, which one? Brooklyn. Thank you so much. You see, this is why it pays to be here in the crowd tonight. We're getting to be in close, so do appreciate you, ma'am, for getting that to me. And if I do say anything wrong, just reach over here and slap me. I promise. I'm a good punching bag. Now over on the Mabank side of things, leading off is going to be catcher number 11, Aaron Otmo, followed by shortstop JoJo Marker. Then second baseman, Trinity Mixon. Third baseman, Savannah Phillips, who has gotten her first home run of the year since we've seen them. So congratulations to her. Sorry we weren't there for that. Now somebody we did see their first home run, it will be batting fifth. That is Miss Callie Davis. She'll be over at first. Emery Groom will be on the bump, batting sixth. Emmy Barnes in left field. Journey Jakeway going to be the designated hitter. And then you've got Haley Gherkin. She's going to be out in center field. And then Angie Fernandez is going to be playing right field. And she's going to be the defensive specialist today. So won't be in the batting order, but will be a big part of things going on here today. So, of course, we are away. So that means that the hosting Yellow Jackets will be on the bump to start things off. Again, it's going to be Emma McKenna, right-hander. And we are just about ready to get things going here in the first inning. And, despite the rapid start there, JD, I feel like we honestly got all the information out, So
yeah, we did a nice job there, I think.
So it's going to be interesting as right now it's pretty warm as I'm getting ready to crack open a blend of 23 authentic flavors that was invented down in Waco back in the 1800s, if you know what I'm talking about.
You know.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, so I don't get in trouble. It is a nice, crispy Dr. Pepper because it's warm out here, buddy.
Yeah, it is.
But we hear that there could be some potential bad weather on the way.
Yeah, taking a look to our right over here. Sky's looking a little bit gray over there.
So just going to let you know, folks, if we do see weather, we're going to be out of here just about as quick as we possibly can. Not going to have time to debate about it and see. Unfortunately, we've got one set of equipment. So
yeah.
If we ruin our equipment here, that means we are done for the year. So we got to do it. All right, well, we are officially ready to get it underway here. Again, going to be the catcher, Aaron Otmo, to lead things off. Otmo has been a very productive hitter this year. Has found herself in the top of the order on several occasions. She digs in. McKenna gets set. And here we go, underway. First pitch going to be a little low. Bounces up out of the dirt for ball one. Yeah. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one going to be a little high, so he has to find the middle ground between those two pitches. But in the early going here again, a couple pitches in, you get a couple to kind of feel things out, you know.
Take a couple to kind of dial it in.
2-0 pitch, that one going to be a little high. So 3-0 now on Otmo. Looking to be the first base runner of the night for the Lady Panthers and just their first batter. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk. So that will bring up number 13, the shortstop, JoJo Marker. Young lady hits for plenty of power, but has got a couple of big bombers, a couple spots lower in the lineup. So Mabank is thrilled to have her hit in the number 2 spot. First pitch to her, she's going to take a mighty cut. Can't quite make contact. Goes down 0-1. It's the best pitch we've seen so far. And that was pretty much in the same spot. She said she's going to offer at it, let her have it again. That will bring it out to 0-2.
Yeah, struggled finding the center of the plate that first time, and both of those just rocketed right in there.
And how about that? Turns it into a strikeout. So a 4-pitch walk and a 3-pitch strikeout. So that's definitely what you would call efficiency.
Yeah, right.
In at-bats there.
It's
So that will bring up second baseman now, Trinity Mixon. 1 down, 1 on here in the top of the first. Still no score. First pitch to Mixon. Going to groove it in for a strike. So, yeah, again, 4-pitch walk to the first batter she saw. But since then, McKenna,
nothing
4 straight strikes.
Yeah, nothing but the strike zone now.
Pitch number 2, that one's going to sail on her just a bit, even things up, 1-1. Sitting on deck is third baseman Savannah Phillips. She is one of those big bats. Give her some runners on, she could do some damage. That one's going to be hit down the right field line. It gets down. Still going here is Mixon. She's going to chug all the way into third, and that will bring around Marker to score.
Oh,
So,
she's going to go home, too. That's going to be an in the
oh,
park.
yeah, it is going to be an in park. I gave up on the play too quick. I didn't see it in, but, yeah, so will be an inside the park home run, 2 RBI, and that will open up the scoring. 2-0 for your Mabank Lady Panthers. 3 batters in, 2 runs scored. I think Coach Currington and the staff would go ahead and take those production numbers just about any time. Now here is Savannah Phillips, who again is a bomb threat here. She's going to smoke one out towards center field, going to get down. It's going to be
just a single.
Just a single, yeah. So, but hit it right where they weren't, and that'll keep the rally going here. Still 1 out, now 1 back on, and it brings up the first baseman, Callie Davis. Of course, last time we were at softball game, we saw her send one, just absolutely crush it in Athens. First pitch to her, she's going to tap it, ends up in front of the Mabank dugout for strike number 1. Phillips, always eager to run. She was already on the move, almost to second base by the time they called that back. So had to trot back over to first. We'll reset, do it all again. Here's Davis, the righty. Climbs back into the box. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that one's going to be hit and
Nice
gets
base
right
hit.
through, goes floating right over the top of second base. So not an incredibly hard hit ball, but right to where the Lady Yellow Jackets weren't. And that'll be back-to-back singles here for the Panthers.
Couldn't really get an angle on that one. We got a pole sitting right there.
Right, yeah, we're in a little bit of a disadvantage during baseball season. We normally got some elevation for our cameras, but we fill them at ground level. It's going to bounce in the dirt for ball number 1 there. That is the pitcher, Emery Groom, up to take her first cuts of the ball game. Runners on first and second, still just the 1 out. 2 runs now have scored in the top of the first, as that's going to fly and get down. So had a chance at it, but just couldn't quite make the play. And the throw is also going to get past, but just not quite ready to take off running there. So it ends up not being too big of an issue there.
So now I got the bases loaded here.
Yeah, bases loaded as Groom reaches on an error, and that is going to bring up the left fielder, Emmy Barnes. With the proverbial ducks on the pond. First pitch going to be low.
First one kind of chops in there for ball 1.
And the 1-0 pitch here. Now that's going to be hit. Fielded
Right
at
to the
short.
shortstop,
No,
but
short.
Can't handle it.
Yeah. So that would be consecutive reach on errors for the Lady Panthers, and that one will result in another run. So that will be the first unearned run, I guess officially, of the night.
It's like going to have some pinch running there. Number 4 coming in to run for the pitcher.
Yeah. So going to get Groom out, let her go back to hanging out in the dugout.
And Mackenzie Juarez coming in there to do the running.
Ah, you see, making the freshmen do it. I like
That's
it.
right.
I like it. So that does bring up Journey Jakeway. Still got bases loaded here. That is a nice job there by the catcher. Brooklyn Gibbons be able to sneak that or
Keep
field
that.
that.
In front
Yeah,
of her,
keep it in front. Had some awkward spin to it. 1-0 pitch, and Jakeway took a mighty cut, just couldn't quite make contact. We'll even things up at 1-1. We've also got the Kemp Yellow Jackets and Canton Eagles playing baseball right behind us as well. So is that pitch going to be fouled off by Jakeway?
Straight back.
Now 1-2 in the count, so she's going to have to protect the plate. After time was called, now we're back into it here. McKenna's pitch going to be a little high, a little outside for ball 2. Evens things back up 2-2. Again, Mabank sitting on a 3-0 lead here with just the 1 out in the top of the first. Bases loaded. Jakeway trying to send everybody home. That's going to be another high
Great
pitch.
patience right there.
Absolutely. Kind of looked like at first it was going to be in the breadbasket, but just kind of kept rising. Ended up unhittable. So, as you said, good job by Jakeway just to lean off of it there. So, payoff pitch here, and Jakeway hits it high in the air. It's going to end up in foul territory, and Brooklyn going to be able to snag it for the second out of the inning. We'll now bring up the 9-hole hitter, number 21, Haley Gherkin. First pitch, inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got close.
It's one of those you got to debate wearing.
So still got it fully loaded here with the 2 outs. Mabank trying to take advantage. So the next pitch going to be outside as well.
Gherkin ahead early in the count.
And you got top of the lineup, Aaron Otmo, standing on deck right now. So it's going to be called strike on that third pitch. So again, Mabank trying to get around the order for the first time of the night in the first inning. It's 2-1 on the way here from McKenna, and that one's going to be high for a ball.
Head on right there.
Yeah. Hitters count here now for Gherkin. Gherkin again playing center field position tonight. And that one's going to be high. So good patience. Picks up an RBI on the walk. And that will bring up Otmo for her second appearance of the inning.
Still got the bases juiced here.
Mm-hmm. Now, last time she had a walk, she opened up the frame with the walk. So, probably itching to get in there and hit something. Let's see what she does. First pitch to her is going to be hit and dropped.
Able to beat it out. Oh, runner going
and
home.
Caught. So, it turns in to a reach on an error and an unearned run scored for the Mabank Lady Panthers. But then Mabank's own mistake on the base pass come back to bite them. That will be the third out of the inning. So, 4-0 lead here for Mabank in the early going. Let's go ahead and take a short break, and we'll come back right after this here on Cedar Creek Media.
Barks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, back to it here. So 4-0 after a half a frame of work for your Mabank Lady Panthers. And boy, JD, I'm going to have to do some real cleaning on this stuff whenever you get. I mean, look at that. Baseball sand is already just absolutely covering the old laptop over here. Have to stop by and get me some alcohol wipes. But it is, as we talked about, going to be Miss Emery Groom up on the bump. She has had a pretty good year from the mound. Of course, is one of the main inning eaters for the Lady Panthers. Going to have a lot of room to work with, as it's actually, I apologize, I said 4-0 lead earlier. It's actually a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, that run had scored before it was tagged at home. They were just a little late getting it up there on the board.
Little late, and that was my apologies. I was saying they scored a run and still didn't count it. So. All right, so we are ready to get the home half of the inning underway here. Madison Haney, the third baseman, going to be starting it off for your Kemp Lady Yellow Jackets, and I do say yours because we're still all, I guess, again, not Henderson County, Kaufman County friends. First pitch going to be grooved in there from Groom. And like JD said, it was a good pitch.
That was a great pitch, man. Just great job finding the strike zone immediately, just giving her the gas right down the middle.
Second one, they're going to say just a bit high, but yeah, we've talked about it so much this year, whether it's baseball or softball. That first pitch strike is such a big deal. So many times you see these counts end up full, so if you have that advantage to start, it always helps out as that first batter is going to be able to smoke one out to the outfield there. As Haney going to keep going, end up on second. Phillips going to look her back, keep her honest there, but there you go. And that is the way you claw back from a 5-run inning is you just collect those base hits, get it going.
Yeah, just get on and let everybody else trust the rest back into your lineup to get you all in.
That's it, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Allie Pringle. Seen her a lot this year. We talked about seeing quite a few showdowns between Kemp and Mabank this year. She seems to always be a part of the Lady Yellow Jackets, no matter what sport it is, you know.
Yep. Right there, show and bunt, pulls back on it to take the ball.
Waiting on the signs, climbs back in. 1-0 count here, and offered at it. So that will be a strike. Evens things up back at 1-1. They are giving quite a bit of attention over to Haney on second. Not one to let her advance those 60 feet or so up. So now 2-1. Groom again working with runners behind her, so like to get a big strikeout here. Is now it's going to be dropped down for Pringle. Play will be made at first, but it works out to perfection for the Lady Yellow Jackets as that will be a sac bunt. Puts Haney all the way up on third, and it will bring up. Figured I'd let him say it. I knew he was going to say it loud enough that he'd probably cop over. So that is second baseman A.J. Hu, number 3 for the Lady Yellow Jackets. First pitch, going to be grooved in. Strike number 1.
That was one of those predetermined no swings right there, it looked like.
Yeah, and it looked like Groom was prepared for it as well. Said, I'm just going to throw you one right down Main Street here. And
breaking ball just gets there.
She's even got a big smile on her face knowing
Man.
that, I mean, it almost looked like something was wrong coming out of that hand there.
That right there is what you call some off speed.
I mean, that was almost like a knuckle softball there. So 0-2 now. And, just outside. Who does a good job to lay off. So 1-2, now the count. And that's going to be fouled straight back. Somebody had a chance to make a play on it there. Just couldn't quite make a play. And I'm telling you, you don't realize how, it's called softball. You don't realize when that thing's coming at you 30, 40 miles an hour and you try and catch it barehanded, that hurts. It really does.
Just a little.
And now Who going to smoke one towards second. Play will be made, but the damage will be done as she will pick up an RBI. We'll go ahead and write it down as a sacrifice. So Haney comes across to score. Now that catcher, Brooklyn Gibbons, hitting in the 4 spot. Nobody on for her, 2 outs, so she's going to have the full green light to try and send this out of the ballpark. It's the first pitch to her, going to be inside for a ball. You always like hitting with men on, of course, or, ladies on, I guess, but something about hitting when there's nobody out or nobody on there and you can just kind of go for it.
That's right.
She
Hey,
did
she
it
does
there.
right there.
Marker going to trot underneath it and have it for out number 3. So, again, that pitch was a little bit elevated. Potential to get some wood on it, but unfortunately for that time just ends up going straight in the air. So, Kemp is able to score back 1 run, 5-1. We'll be back with the top of the second right after this. Hey, Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
And back to it here, ready to get the top of the second inning going. Mabank enjoying that 5-1 lead here. Leading it off is going to be the lady who made the final play of the first inning, shortstop, Miss JoJo Marker. JoJo was the lone strikeout victim there in the first frame. Let's see if she can battle back here as the first pitch going to skip into her for ball number 1. Waiting behind her is Miss Trinity Mixon. She started off the scoring with a bang with the inside the park home run back in the first inning.
Yeah.
So a couple of productive young ladies started out here. The next pitch going to be out as well. Looks like it was just a bit high to Miss Marker. So McKenna now down 2-0. Marker find herself in a more comfortable position than last time. She takes a big cut that time, can't make contact. So 2-1 now. The sun's starting to set here. It's going to be probably a continued problem for batters all night. Next pitch going to skip in. That will also be a ball. So now the hitters count 3-1 for Miss JoJo Marker. And she takes a big cut there. Saw something she liked.
Couldn't quite get the barrel on the ball there.
No. So the sophomore now has it all full, 3-2. And now she's going to tap one, gets past third, and rolls all the way out into left field. So kind of a weak dribbler there. I think the Lady Yellow Jackets were expecting a little bit more juice on it. Didn't quite step up to it. We're going to go ahead and write it down as a single. And that will bring Trinity Mixon up to the plate. Her chance for another RBI here. Has the game leading 2. She smoked it out to right field last time. Let's see, as that pitch is going to get away. So, excuse me, Marker going to be able to scoot on up second base. So now runner in scoring position makes the job just a little bit easier here for Mixon. McKenna sets for the 1-0 here. Pitches in, and Mixon caught a piece of it. Sent it foul. Evens it up now, 1-1. And again, it's the sun is affecting me here too, so I'm sorry I'm light on the details. I can only see about 40% as the next pitch is going to be high. So 2-1 now. It's in that awkward position where now I got to actually like take my hat off my head and put it in front of my face. But it's working out for me now. It's McKenna now set again. Pitch going to be low. It's a good job by Marker getting a generous lead back there on second.
Yeah, she's been trying to She's been kind of toying with the catcher a little bit ever since that first one had gotten by her. She's really trying to bait him into a throw here.
3-1 pitch. That's going to be a big cut and a miss for Mixon. So, if anything, we really haven't seen anybody other than Miss Mixon on that one hit really hit anything way, way too hard. Even the balls that sounded good ended up just barely getting out of the outfield. Now that one is going to get in the gap there right over the top of second base. Coach is going to send Marker, and she will score standing up. So Marker comes around to score, and Trinity Mixon on a single now has her third RBI in just the first 2 innings. So 2 at-bats, 3 RBIs. Again, you stay on that pace, you're going to be a professional.
That
you know?
right there is some production.
We'll bring up the hard-hitting third baseman, Savannah Phillips. She was one of the ones that had those really hard-sounding shots that just kind of died out to center field. See what she can do in this at-bat. First one going to be a strike, so it was on the inside part of the plate. Phillips didn't like it, but doesn't matter if she liked it. It was good enough. 6-1 score. Runner on first, no outs here on the top of the second. That pitch is going to be high. It looked like I had a little extra cheese on it there, JD. That was probably the hardest pitch we've seen McKenna throw so far. Just gets that one by her that time. So reaching back to give Phillips a little something extra there was McKenna. Now has her where she wants her at 1-2. Let's see what Phillips can do here. Got to protect the plate. And that time it's going to lean out. Sends one high and ends up falling. So I think there was just a little bit of miscommunication there between the Lady Yellow Jackets shortstop and center fielder there. I think both of them were expecting the other to come up and get it. Neither were able to make a play, so will be a reach on an error, and it will bring up the first baseman, Callie Davis. Runners on first and second. Still nobody out here in the top of this second. First pitch is going to be low to Davis. That was pretty. You're not going to be able to see it, unfortunately, with our camera angles and stuff like that. But, Mixon and Phillips were in absolute sync there on those hops. As soon as the pitch landed in the catcher's glove, they were just absolutely succinct. Would have had to really make a decision there if Gibbons would have had to throw. So 2-0 now to Davis. And she's going to swing, foul one off of her ankle, but it looks like it's going to hit off of the shoe, so she's going to be all right.
Walks that one off.
Yeah.
That don't feel good.
She's tougher than most baseball players, I can tell you that, because most baseball players, they foul that off the ankle. They're going down for at least a few minutes. So 2-1 now the count here. Davis looking for something she can drive a mile. We've seen her do it. And that's not going to be it. It's going to be high up in the air and caught. So shortstop Katie Neighbors able to make the play. So we'll now bring up your pitcher, Miss Emery Groom. Emery in her first at bat, reach on an error, ended up coming around to score as well. First pitch going to be hit high and going to fall, and everybody's should have been. Are they saying infield fly here?
An infield fly roll, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll be the infield fly, so that will be out number 2. Sorry, I had to get everything wrote down, change everything I wrote down there. All right, so that will now bring up number 3, Emmy Barnes. First pitch to Barnes is going to get away.
Oh, and they're going to steal home.
They're going to get it clean, too. So great job there by Trinity Mixon. Has now been a part of 4 runs scored here tonight. So over half of the production has come through the way of Trinity Mixon. And it's going to be a 1-0 count here to Barnes. Barnes, again, is playing left field tonight. At least to start us out. And she's going to rocket one that jumps over second base. And they are going to send the runner, and she will score. So Savannah Phillips able to come all the way around, score another run, and that will be an RBI single for Miss Emmy Barnes. We'll now bring up Miss Journey Jakeway to the plate. First pitch to her is going to be hit high in the air, cruising out towards right field, and will be caught for the final out. So fly out, position 9. All right, so now after 2 innings, Mabank has stretched the score just a bit, 8-1 now our score. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. We'll come back with the bottom half of the frame right after this here on Cedar Creek Media. Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doublekphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, back to it here. Again, 8-1 is the lead for your Lady Panthers going into just the bottom of the second inning. So it has been production from the top, especially from Miss Trinity Mixon, the 3-hole hitter. So far tonight, a 2-run inside the park home run and an RBI single. So 3 RBIs, and has also come around to score another run during that after she got that single. So has 4 runs put on the board because of her name tonight. So pretty good there, JD.
Not half bad.
It is going to be Miss Emery Groom still on the bump for your Mabank Lady Panthers. Coming to take her first cuts of the ball game is going to be the first baseman, Marley Moore. Moore, the 5-hole hitter, so obviously she possesses some power. Usually your 3, 4, 5 are going to be your biggest
power hitters.
Yeah. First pitch to her, going to be a high offering from Groom, so start her out at 1-0. And again, Groom has done a really good job tonight of staying in front of hitters. Next one's going to be hit, scoop. Oh, no, excuse me. Gets all the way through to right field. Going to be a play chance at second, and So that is just good hustle there for Marley Moore. Able to get across and get a really what should have been a single, stretched it all the way into a double. So we're going to go ahead and give her the double for it. Brings up the shortstop, number 1, Katie Neighbors. Her first hacks of the ball game coming up. So nobody out. Runner on second. First pitch. Going to be a little high for ball number 1. She's going to step back, think about it just a little bit more here. Now Neighbors back into the box. Groom onto the rubber. And it'll be a strike. as there was some late lag there. There's more. It's kind of standing between second and third. Nobody really checked her back. Wasn't enough for her to take off, but Panthers were paying a little bit more attention. They might have had an easy pickoff there. Now here's the 1-1, and that's going to be hit high in the air towards right field, and it's going to get down. Hard to play against that sun. Gets all the way to the fence, and Panthers not going to be able to get it in time, so that will be an inside the park home run for the shortstop, Katie Neighbors, and that will put a couple of RBIs back on the board for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Cuts the lead to just 5, 8-3, now the score. Going to bring up the left fielder, Chelsea Roscoe. Mabank took a few seconds to think things through. Again, really does seem like the sun has been a factor for both teams defensively so far tonight, as it is just right there. As we're staring into it, there's no better way to say it than it is just right there. So it's going to be in, they going to say she offered? No.
On that one.
All right, so had the barrel of the bat back, so it'll be a 1-0 count here. Groom takes the signs, now climbs back in. Next pitch going to be offered at and called a strike. So again, Roscoe, the left fielder, trying to keep this no-out rally going here for the Lady Yellow Jackets, as she is going to offer again and not be able to get a piece. So now finds herself down 1-2.
She has a very awkward way of bunting. She goes into it very late with the pitches like almost already over the plate.
Oof. That was a pretty good test pitch right there on the 1-2 on the inside, but no offer and no help there. 2-2 now. And that'll be a strikeout. You don't have to worry about that. You're good. Some of the photographers out here doing a really nice thing, trying to not get in our cameras, but hey, we are not all that important. Don't worry about us. So that is now one gone here in the bottom of the second. Going to bring up the right fielder, Chloe Smith. Also taking her first hacks of the game here. First pitch, going to be smoked. Phillips knocks it down, but not able to glove it cleanly. Throw will be late. So that will be an infield single for Chloe Smith. And now we're going to see the pitcher, Emma McKenna.
A little confusion on that one.
Oh, well.
Got there in the end, though.
Yeah, yep. Wrong Emma. Wrong colors, too.
That's right.
She is not in green.
Wrong uniform.
So 1 out, 1 on. 5-run game here. As the first pitch to McKenna is going to be high for a ball. The groom gets the signals, looks at the armband, now comes set and ready. That's going to be right down the heart there for the first strike of the AB. Now 1-1. Next pitch from Groom, going to be tapped, and will get through the hole there between short and second, and it ends up actually getting past the center fielder and going all the way to the wall, and throwing error back on the other side. So McKenna doesn't go. She might have had a chance, but it turns from a single with the errors into a 3-bag trip and a couple of RBIs for the pitcher, Emma McKenna. We'll bring off the leadoff hitter, Madison Haney, third baseman. Rocked a double for the Yellow Jackets to start off the bottom of the first for them. It looks like Coach going to take a second, go talk things through with the defense, as we have definitely the offense has been flowing here tonight. The defense, maybe
got a couple holes out there.
Maybe got a couple things going wrong out there, but, hey, a good offensive game doesn't hurt anybody,
That's right.
Let's tell you what, while they're taking a few seconds here, let's take a few seconds to tell you about another one of our fantastic sponsors.
Golden Chick's new Golden Bowl is so big, it's a whole lot of yes and a whole lot of yum. So if you like big bowls, then we cannot lie. The new loaded mashed potato bowl is a whole lot of Golden Chick, a big bowl you can't deny.
Actually sounds really good. I might have to swing by Golden Chick after here. So, let's see. We got a runner on third, one out. First pitch here, it's going to be a ball. Again, that is the leadoff hitter, Madison Haney. 1 for 1 so far tonight. One 1-0 pitch on the way. That one's going to be low. Good job by Otmo to dig it out. And now Groom finds herself down 2-0 here. And again with the runner just about 60 feet away. Got to be careful here. And that is going to be a strike. Yeah, that was a really nice pitch. Had a Haney a little fooled there. So 2-1 now. And again, right-handed hitters having to deal with this sun tonight as well, as that's going to be tapped. And Marker just can't quite get a clean handle on it. So that will be another run scored. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So all the way down to a 2-run game now, 8-6. Right?
Yes,
it should be
it should be 8-6. Yes. A little slow on the board up there.
Now the lefty, Allie Pringle, looks like she is wanting to slap hit.
At least she batted right-handed last AB.
Oh, okay, so maybe ambidextrous.
Put down a bunt, however, I believe.
Aha. Now offers again, going to take a strike. A lot of movement on the infield, but nobody goes, nothing happens. Groom again. Now this is going to be tapped and foul. So now it'll be 1-2. And Groom going to have.
No, there's no balls.
No balls.
They were both strikes before. Board's a little off with it. They got it corrected now, though.
Still haven't got that run on the board either. Next pitch is going to be offered, and they say
That's a strikeout.
So Pringle goes down on strikes. That'll be the second strikeout of the inning. So both outs so far coming from strikeouts. Last victim was Chelsea Roscoe. Brings up A.J. Hu now. Had a sacrifice for an RBI back in the first inning. That was the first run tacked on by the Lady Yellow Jackets. Took the first pitch for a ball. Groom set, fires. That one's going to be low as well. Will also be a ball. Another ball. That one's going to be low. Sorry, I'm trying to sit here and go through. Yeah, so 2, 4, 5. Yeah, so should be one more run on the board. So 3-0, good hitters count here. And that'll be grooved in. Good job by Groom. Not going to let Who just have it easy. Make her think about it a bit. Second baseman climbs back in. 3-1 pitch, and that's going to be low, so that will be a walk. We'll bring up the catcher, Brooklyn Givens. She flew out to shortstop to end the first inning in her first AB. Have to take a second, get all the catcher gear off. All right, so here we go. Back to it. Groom stands in. First pitch, going to be an off speed for a strike. Yeah, that's a setup pitch if I've ever seen one. Giving her some off speed to see on the first pitch. Let's see if she sticks with it or comes back to the heat here pretty quickly. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that did have some heat. Mixon couldn't quite knock it down, and it is going to roll all the way out. And play opportunity at the plate. Got her in a rundown. Nobody back to cover, and that'll be a free run for the Yellow Jackets. So nobody back covering the plate. And it will now be all the way down to a one-run game.
I believe it should be tied up here, but they still never tacked on that run from earlier.
Yeah, no, believe you're right. Well, it will bring up Marley Moore. She is the lady who led off the inning. Hit a double. Getting her second AB of the inning. First pitch to her is going to be a strike. Oh, 1 count. Next pitch, going to be swung on and fouled there for Moore. So Groom got a good chance here. Try and get out of this inning. Having Moore down 0-2. Things have just kind of gotten away a little bit here in the bottom of this second. See if they can stop the bleeding here. 0-2 pitch is going to be cut on and missed. So Lady Yellow Jackets definitely able to get some damage done there in the bottom of the second. They've either scored 6 or 7. We think it's 7, but it says 6, so we're going to have to double check on that. But either way, it is time for us to take a short break. We'll come back right after this here on Cedar Creek Media.
Jeff Van Horn and his team at Precision Spray Foam want to help you protect your investments and potentially lower your energy bill with a new layer of insulating spray foam for your home, barndominium, or metal building. Why choose Precision Spray Foam? Because they can help deter moisture, improve comfort and air quality, and provide extra strength to your building for years to come, all while being environmentally friendly and cost-effective. Jeff and his team make installation a breeze and can retrofit for any need. Call Precision Spray Foam today at 903-880-6323. That's 903-880-6323 for your free estimate today. Precision Spray Foam, part of the Van Horn Construction family and proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
All right, back to it here. So score never changed, so I'm going to assume that I was wrong because, JD, as you know, I have a tendency to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm wrong. So apparently only 6 runs scored in the bottom of the inning. So that leaves your Mabank Lady Panthers with a 1-run lead, 8-7 going into the top of the third. So, again, offense has not been hard to come by so far tonight. Sun starting to kind of get behind some clouds back over there. And again, we were warned of potential weather coming through here tonight. So if we do see some weather popping up around in the area, we will be heading out because we can't afford to get our equipment messed up. So
That's right.
as a matter of fact, it's saying there is a 40% chance of rain around 7 o'clock, so that is in about 15 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and definitely get through the top of this inning and then have to reevaluate, see what things look like. It looks like it's coming, doesn't it? We're going to hire you. You know that? All right, so we are ready to get the top of the third going here. Leading it off for your Lady Panthers is going to be number 21. Excuse me, Haley Gherkin. Couldn't find my paper there. So first pitch to her, I believe, was called a ball.
Yeah, kind of rolled in there. Second one going to pretty much do the same.
Going to be one of those ditto pitches right there. So 2-0 now. You hear I guess there's a doubleheader between Canton and Kemp going on tonight, so they got the second game getting set up to go over there.
I think they had their JV game play first. Ooh.
Oh, is that okay? Got you.
Right there, hits off the light pole, comes back into the field.
Yeah, and that's another thing you see with softball. I don't know if those balls are just that much more durable or what it is, but they don't go through quite as many softballs as you do as baseballs.
No.
All right, so 2-1 count now here to Gherkin. That next pitch is going to be low and skips over to the top of the head of the catcher, Gibbons, there. Nobody on, so no big deal. 3-1 count now here. First time Haley was up, she walked, which brought in a run. And thought about offering that time, doesn't pull the trigger. Either way, turns into a strike. So 3-2 now, got to be real selective. And going to be outside, so second walk for her of the ball game. Oh, didn't even hear it. National anthem on the baseball field. We will return in just a second. All right. So a little brief pause in the action there. Of course, as we said, back-to-back fields here between the baseball and softball field at Kemp High School. So when one's playing the national anthem, the other is going to stop to recognize, of course, our beautiful country. All right, so let me reset myself here. Where are we? So we are at the top of the lineup here. It is going to be the catcher, Aaron Otmo, up to bat. One on, nobody out. First pitch is, gets inside, gets away, and that will allow Gherkin to go ahead and move on into scoring position at second base there. 1-0 count on Otmo. She's going to step back in here. So far tonight has walked and reached on an error. 1-0 pitch. Going to be high, gets away. And that will let Gherkin now get all the way over to third. So standing just feet away from adding an insurance run here. So Otmo still up to bat here, 2-0. Again, you get a little distracted with two different games being called.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right back behind each other. Now that one's going to be smoked. Play's going to be made by who over at second, but that will be a sacrifice and a run scored. So first RBI of the night for, excuse me, I'm going crazy here, Otmo. And it does bring up the second baseman, Trinity Mixon. So far, a inside the park home run and a single. 3 RBIs is that time a check swing. Just going to go right back over into the hands of McKenna. That is just unlucky right there. So we'll technically to go down as a ground out to the pitcher.
Scoreboard not putting up that last run scored.
Or excuse me, that was JoJo Marker. That was not Trinity Mixon. I do apologize. Trinity Mixon is now up to bat. So JoJo Marker was the one that tapped out back to the pitcher. Now, Trinity Mixon, the second baseman, who again has hit an inside the park home run and a single, has 3 RBIs and a run scored so far tonight.
You know, considering the scoreboard hadn't put up that run that was just scored, I think we might have been right with the fact that the score now sits at 9-8.
That's fair enough, as that one's going to be hit high and going to be caught in center field. So that will be a fly out for Miss Mixon. That is her first made out of the game. And that will end the top of the third for the first time for either team without allowing a run. So let's go ahead and take another short break. Again, we're going to keep monitoring the situation here. I don't know. It kind of almost feels like it's starting to miss. So we might be coming back just to roll back out, folks. So, again, stay with us. We'll let you know right after this here on Cedar Creek Media.
For nearly 30 years, Carrie Harris Satellite has been the Lake area's trusted satellite and internet retailer by putting the customer and their needs first. And we here at Cedar Creek Media can attest to that. I'm JD Bird with Cedar Creek Media, and we're not just partners, we're customers of Carrie Harris Satellite, and can't recommend him and his friendly team highly enough. Stop by Carrie Harris Satellite in Athens today and ask how they can get you set up with Dish, Spectrum, Starlink, Boost Mobile, and more at 103 La Costa Street in Athens, or call 903-677-9522. Again, that's 903-677-9522.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, well, I do stand corrected. Imagine that. It doesn't happen, but, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a game, We did pick up that run, and again, it's, whenever you're right here in the middle of it, everything's kind of hard to keep everything right on top of mind. So if I didn't see it on the scoreboard, it kind of threw me off. But, yes, there was a run scored.
Well, there was a zero there before.
There was a zero. There was a zero. Threw me off, as there will not be a zero in front of the ball count now as the first pitch to, number 1, Katie Neighbors goes for a ball. She hit a inside the park 2-run home run in her first appearance. Takes a mighty cut at the next, and that will be a ball. But, yeah, I saw that zero on the board, and, that's just kind of the way my mind's like a whiteboard. You know what I mean? It just whenever it sees something, it wipes everything else out and goes with that. So 1-1 is the count here. Next pitch is again going to be offered at and again will not be made contact with.
I tell you what, that was a good pitch right there. Kind of got that indication that she was wanting to swing no matter what. Go ahead and give her something low that she can't get on.
Challenge pitch, absolutely. So 1-2.
Had a baseball end up coming off of a foul ball over here, so umpire out there by first. Got a little souvenir with him.
All right, so back to the action here on the dirt. 1-2 pitch is going to be hit. Mixon has a second chance and is able to stay with it and make the play. So kind of had a little bit of a bobble there at first, but sticks with it, able to make the play for the first out of the inning. That will now bring up the left fielder, Chelsea Roscoe. Roscoe is one of 2 strikeout victims so far for Groom tonight. All right, so here we go back to it. Groom, first pitch is going to hit off the hands there. Oof. Roscoe just kind of took one inside. Ends up being a foul, but that is going to be some sting in the hands. It hit kind of where the bat starts to taper a bit. But she's a tough young lady, sticks it out, going to stay with it. So Groom back on the rubber here. 0-1 pitch on the way. They're going to say another offer. Yes, so now 0-2 here. Mabank looking, or no, they're going to say that was a ball. So 1-1.
Looked like she offered at it, but the way that she goes for her bunting approach is like a barrel of the bat is back, so it never really crosses kind of a thing. So it's kind of one of those difficult to call things.
As that is going to be a little high. 2-1 now is the count. Next pitch, they're going to say that time she did offer, so now going to be at 2-2. Chance for Groom to send her back. Payoff pitch on the way, hacked at and missed. So that will be the second strikeout of the night for Miss Chelsea Roscoe. Will now leave Mabank just 1 out away from, again, the shutdown inning here in the bottom of the third, which could truly potentially be the first true no-score half inning.
Yeah, right.
Looks like the weather's still hanging out about 30 minutes away from us, so we're going to keep trying to go with this one as the first pitch. There to Chloe Smith. Took a big cut, couldn't make contact. Climbs back in here. Groom sends the next one. That's going to be fouled. So back-to-back batters will find themselves behind in the count here to Miss Groom. Emery, the junior, is, again, one of the main innings eaters and high-leverage pitchers for these Panthers. So looking to keep things going. That will be a hot shot caught right at second base by Miss Trinity Mixon. And that will be 3 outs here. And, again, the first shutdown inning of the game for either one of these teams. So let's go ahead and take another short break. We'll come back right after this with the
Bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third. Yes. Hey, Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
All right, back to it here. Ready to get the top half of the fourth inning going. Looks like defensive set's going to remain the same for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Still going to be Miss Emma McKenna on the mound. It's going to be third baseman Savannah Phillips leading it off for your Mabank Lady Panthers. So it's a 9-7 advantage for Mabank. Again, both teams, I think, trying to quickly get through this so they don't have to make this game up at any point. With the weather now under 30 minutes away, at least according to Apple Weather. All right, first pitch here to Phillips, going to be tapped foul. We've seen Phillips, she likes that kind of high in the zone pitch. She has a tendency to go for that, and that time was right in the breadbasket. She liked it, just couldn't quite send it straight forward. So 0-1 the count. McKenna twists and sets. And again, going to get one high cross from Phillips. And I think she's kind of disappointed with herself right there, saying 2 in a row.
That's one of those swings right there where my coach would have just told me, you're not swinging an axe here, bud.
And, 3 in a row. So, obviously, McKenna found the spot that she didn't think Phillips could hit her. She guessed right, as that will be a 3-pitch strikeout for the power-hitting third baseman. We'll now bring up fellow corner infielder as first baseman, Callie Davis. Callie so far has a single and a fly out. She's going to tap one this time. Just kind of eats up the shortstop. Yeah. Short bounce there. Just kind of got up and past Neighbors.
It's a lot of velocity coming off that bat from Callie Davis. So that's a hard one to handle.
You are 100% right. So now 2 for 3 on the night is Miss Callie Davis. And we'll bring up now number 7, your pitcher, Miss Emery Groom. She's reached on an error and had the infield fly rule called upon her so far tonight. So officially 0 for 1. I guess actually technically 0 for 2, huh? Because if you reach on an error, it's still 0 for. Yeah, so 1-0 pitch, going to be offered at. She thinks she got a piece of it, just ends up as a foul tip back in the hands of Miss Gibbons, the catcher there. Evened up 1-1, 1 out here in the top of the fourth, and a 2-run advantage for Mabank. Next pitch going to be low, gets passed through. Davis going to try and move up.
Able to get there.
Yeah, Gibbons had her dead to rights there. Throw was in plenty of time, just couldn't handle it there on the defensive side on the bag. So Davis is going to get credit for the steal, but definitely going to have to send a couple of Yellow Jackets Christmas card to say thank you. So 2-1 now, and now that's going to be tapped by Groom, and it just, that had so much spin on it. It literally just jumped right out of the glove there of Neighbors. She had it in the webbing there, and it just spun and somehow popped out. It's hard to give any kind of a blame assessment on that because I don't think you can. That will bring up now Miss Emmy Barnes. Emmy has reached on an error and had an RBI single so far tonight. Has a chance for another one here with runners on the corners. First pitch going to be right down the middle for a strike, so it'll be now 0-1. So they didn't clear the board, but it's 0-1. Next pitch offered at. Doesn't make contact, so now down 0-2. But Groom was able to move up. Did they pinch run anybody for Groom, or is that Groom still out there?
No, that is still Groom.
Okay. Next pitch going to be high. So now 1-2. Barnes trying to put together hits in multiple at-bats, or in consecutive at-bats, excuse me, and she offers at that one and goes down swinging. So that high pitch has been a bit of a bugaboo here tonight for the Lady Panthers. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for McKenna on that exact pitch. Now we'll bring Journey Jakeway up to the plate. She's due, has a couple of flyouts so far tonight. Oof, good first pitch there for McKenna. We'll get across for strike one. Again, if you're Mabank with runners on second and third, you kind of almost feel a bit of a tug here to get those across in just this two-run game.
Yeah, you need something in the outfield right now.
Absolutely. Jakeway takes one on the inside. That time will be called a ball. It pretty much skittered right across the numbers of her uniform there. McKenna thinking about it. Now here she comes, and that's going to be hit hard and gets through. That will be 1-2 runs scoring on the single for Journey Jakeway, and that wasn't a cheapo right there. That was a hard hit ball right up the middle, and that is going to extend the lead back out to 4 for your Mabank Lady Panthers.
Talk about some exit velocity. That ball was out there in the outfield in a hurry.
All right, well, JD, as I look, it looks like Apple Maps has now decided that the weather is not going to find us. So we'll keep watching as the first pitch is going to be knocked foul there for number 21, Haley Gherkin. Gherkin so far tonight has 2 walks. One of them resulted in an RBI for her. 2 outs, runner at first is Jakeway. She just cleared off the bases, and pitch going to be in the dirt. Jakeway going to break for it and get to second standing up. So again, the Lady Panthers going to have a runner in scoring position here as the sun has just about all but dissipated. It seems like once that sun got back behind the clouds, Mabank has turned their game up a little bit here. 1-1 pitch is going to be fouled back. So Gherkin liked the way it looked, just couldn't quite get it straight there. Finds yourself down 1-2. You don't need anything too fancy here. If you can just knock one around. I mean, Jakeway is not, the fastest person you've ever seen, but she's definitely not slow, so she's definitely got more than enough wheels to score from second. That pitch is going to be high. Evens things back up, 2-2. And the pitch going to be offered at, couldn't make contact, so that will be strikeout number 3 of the inning and number 4 overall for McKenna. So whenever Kemp comes back, whenever Mabank comes back up, they'll be starting from the top of the lineup, but Kemp will be up next. So let's go ahead and take a short break, and we'll come back for it right after this here on Cedar Creek Media.
Barks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
And back to it. Mabank able to tack on a couple of insurance runs there in the top of the fourth, now leading 11-7. Going to be working against the pitcher, Emma McKenna, to start off the bottom of the fourth here. Looking for consecutive shutdown innings. Looked pretty good there in the bottom of the first, allowing just that one run, but things got a little squirrely on the Lady Panthers there in the bottom of the second, allowing those sixth spot. That is what's kept it close. But, again, as I said, looking for consecutive shutdown innings, and it does seem like the Lady Panthers have been able to turn the game up just a notch since that sun settled back down. I'm telling you, I get it. JD can attest, too. I mean, it was right there. It was hard to see. So, Groom still in the game at as the pitcher, if I could talk. Also hot and a little warm out here earlier when we were setting up.
Cooled down a bit now.
Yeah, it's cooled down a bit. Starting to get a little relaxed and comfortable over here. 1-0 pitch on the way. Going to be tapped foul. Again, softball players showing their toughness. That one was tapped off the inside of the ankle. Hit off the inside of the ankle hard enough to end up rolling back to the cage. She didn't even flinch.
Not even a little.
Not even a bit. So all tied back up here, 1-1 in the count, and that's going to be tapped. Mixon does a good job to scoop it out. And look, that's the experience. She had one like that eat her up earlier. Just that kind of awkward bounce off of this sand here. Used what she had, stayed in a really good defensive position. That time was in the perfect spot to make the play. And it's an easy ground out for the first out of the inning. Going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Madison Haney. So far, a double, a RBI single, and
oh, man, the off-speed gets her.
That time, as JD said, just a little fooled by the off-speed pitch. Trying to get her out for the first time tonight, as looks like that time she was going to try it again, just kind of fell out of her hand. If I was a betting man, I'd call for high heat right here. I'd have won $1. Unfortunately, just a little too far outside. So we'll be ball 2. Yeah, a couple of low sinkers there, or breakers. I don't know if it was a sinker, but low breaking balls to the high heat. And, ooh, that time going to frame it perfect on the outside half of the plate. Like you said, just pretty well perfect. Don't know that you can throw a pitch better than that. So 2-2 the count now. And, oh, threw that breaking ball again. Did a better job of sitting back on it, but still was a little out in front of it. Count remains 2-2. 1 out, still the 4-run lead for Mabank here in the bottom of the fourth. And, ooh, doesn't get the spot that time. Just a little too far on the outside. Fills things up, 3-2. This Groom again, going to come set. Payoff pitch underway. Offers that and can't get it. So that will now be, what, 1, 2, 3. So 3 strikeouts now for Miss Groom. Excuse me, 4. 4 strikeouts now for Miss Groom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Yeah.
So 2 outs, and now Allie Pringle.
That's a nice pitch.
That will be a strike, and JD, your observation last time is correct, because I do remember Miss Pringle was batting lefty last time, so has gone righty, lefty, and now back to righty. And
off speed.
Yee.
Threw the gas the first time, broke it up with a little off speed. Let's see how she pays it off here.
I mean, you could basically see the question mark pop up over the top of Miss Pringle's head that time, as she was completely fooled. And now with some heat, just a little too high. was a good waist pitch there by Groom, kind of get the batter's eye level changed. Let's see if she goes right at her here or tries to move her around a little bit more. Pitch on the way, big cut, and a strikeout. So a couple of strikeouts to end the bottom half of the inning here. We're getting ready for the top of the fifth. Let's go ahead and take another short break, JD, and we'll come back right after this.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doubleKphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Golden Chick's new Golden Bowl is so big, it's a whole lot of yes and a whole lot of yum. So if you like big bowls, and we cannot lie, the new loaded mashed potato bowl is a whole lot of Golden Chick, a big bowl you can't deny.
And back to it here, ready to get the fifth inning underway here as the sun is starting to peek back out through the clouds. As again, we were worried about potential weather, and it looks like it's going to stay away, but that does mean we might get another couple rounds here with Mr. Sun.
As it is setting right over that horizon line.
We do have more hardball action coming up this week, but it won't be on Friday, JD. It's going to be on Saturday.
Hey.
So Saturday, the Mabank Panthers will be taking on what is Kaufman? I can't even think off the top of my head. For some reason I want to say Pirates, but I don't think that's it. No. I don't know. I can't remember. That's terrible of me. I'm sorry. I can't remember off the top of my head, folks, but we'll be taking on Kaufman. Game going to be at the bank. And then on Sunday, got Henderson Calvary FC soccer going on as first pitch is going to be hit fair and kind of squirts around there. It's going to end up as a 3-bagger to start off the inning there. And I like it. So that is your leadoff hitter and catcher there, Otmo, able to start off the inning with a bang. Stand-up triple. We'll bring up the number 2 hole hitter, shortstop, JoJo Marker. First pitch is going to be a called strike. Marker so far 1 for 3 on the night, has a single, a strikeout, and then a ground out to the pitcher. It's kind of a check swing that unfortunately she made contact with and ended up rolling. Second pitch going to be on the inside part of the plate, but will catch the heart for another strike. So Marker finds herself down 0-2 here. Payoff pitch here for McKenna, going to be tapped foul. So Marker does a good job that time of protecting the plate. Going to have another opportunity here. She never really even got out of the box. She's just patiently waiting. Now McKenna comes and fouled again. So quickly got those 2 strikes, but Marker doing a fantastic job battling through here. Now seen 4 pitches in the inning, or in the at-bat. All 4 technically strikes. McKenna sets. Another 0-2 on the way, and that one's going to bounce in the dirt for ball one. So, again, good job by Marker. She's been aggressive here tonight. That time does a good job just to lay off of it. Give her another chance. 1-2 now on the way, and that's going to be hit. Sailing and caught out in center field, but not going to have the chance to get it in. So we'll go down as a sac fly for JoJo Marker. Picks up a RBI, her first of the night. And it will bring Aaron Otmo in to score for the second time tonight as well. So 2 runs scored for the catcher. Now brings up Miss Trinity Mixon. Trinity 2 for 3 tonight. Has a inside the park home run and a single. 3 RBIs to her name. First pitch to her, going to be hammered but foul. That is what you call a headache ball right there.
Yeah, right.
You know, a lot of those foul balls, they lazily fly over the back fence, but that one was on a mission. Heat seeker. Score 12-7 here. Next pitch is going to bounce in the dirt. Got away from Gibbons. Hit her on the shoulder, but looks like she's going to wave. She's good to go. Collect the ball. Get it over to McKenna. Let's see. Check back over for anybody that may be interested. Let's see. It looks like going into the bottom of the second, Canton on top of the Kemp Yellow Jackets in baseball, 4-0. So the next pitch is going to be a ball here to Mixon. So we'll make the count now 2-1. Again, just one gone, nobody on base. And contact going to be made, and that is going to roll on into left field. So able to just shoot one over into the hot corner. Keeps her hot night going. Now 3 for 4. And
overthrows the cutoff, and it's going to find Mixon on third base.
How about that? So turn a single into a triple just with heads-up base running there. And again, Mabank going to have somebody in scoring position. Got Savannah Phillips coming up. She has singled, reached on an error, and struck out. Let me tell you what, if I know anything about the game of Miss Savannah Phillips, she is not satisfied with the way things have gone so far for her tonight. Is going to look to rectify it here. First pitch going to be hit high in the air, carrying out to center. Will be caught, but will be a sac fly. So maybe not exactly what she had in mind, but either way, it will turn into an RBI for her first of the night. We'll now send number 25, first baseman Callie Davis, up to the plate. Mabank almost got the score back to double here. Is 13-7 the current score. We've got a baseball out on the field. Looks like Neighbors going to take the time to chunk it back over. I think she's playing the wrong sport. She threw that from her shortstop position all the way to second base on the baseball field. My goodness. So first pitch here to Davis. I think she was just feeling it. I think she wanted. Yeah, she stepped back, gave a big shrug there, like, yeah, I know.
That was a decided swing when she stepped in the box.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she saw a pitch that was just a little bit elevated and was thinking back to Athens about a week and a half ago, or I guess 2 weeks ago at this point. Next one going to be fouled back, so gotten a little wild here in this. Now going to take a second, go through the fundamentals. Steps back in, again down 0-2 in the count, so going to have to be very protective here. Good job there. That is basically the same pitch she swung at, that first pitch. That time lays off of it around the eyes for ball number 1. Keeps herself in the AB here. 1-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled straight back. Headache. Nope. Doesn't quite get up over.
Leave it.
But it will give another 1-2 opportunity here for Davis. Kemp taking a second to kind of talk things through. Now here comes McKenna set. And that one going to be in the dirt for ball 2. So Davis doing a good job to battle back here. Two-two pitch, going to be hit hard out towards left field and over the head of the left fielder. Davis going to keep trotting. It's going to be a stand-up double. As that, we might have had a slight wind. That might have carried out, but just kind of died right back at the fence. But now 3 for 4 tonight, couple of singles and a double. We'll now bring up the pitcher, Miss Emery Groom. Emery so far has singled, had an infield fly rule called against her, and reached on an error. So officially 1 for 3 on the night. First pitch to her, going to be hit hard and gets down. Play.
Able to run it out.
Yeah, she does run it out.
That's an infield single right there.
That is just effort right there. And it moves Davis up to third base as well. So it's going to put Miss Emmy Barnes, the sophomore, in a good spot here. Emmy's reached on an error, has an RBI single, but she struck out in her last AB, so looking to get a little revenge here against McKenna. Pitch is going to be high, and Groom just going to take off from first base, no hesitation. Panthers now with a couple in scoring position. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit. Foul. Does land right in front of the Mabank bench, so looked like it might have had a chance to have a play made on it, but Kemp deciding against it, deciding to stick around here for the next pitch. So 1-1 now the count. Barnes standing in. Oof, going to be just low and off the plate. Very good pitch there from McKenna. Just better discipline there by Barnes to lay off of it. You know what, young man? I'm going to borrow this for a minute. I'll get back to you in just a minute. Homeboy's getting old. Next pitch is going to be high. We'll bring up the hitter's count here for Barnes. Again, runner still at second and third. Just the one out here in the top of the fifth. Next pitch is going to be high and outside, so that will be a 5-pitch walk.
It's going to bring up Journey Jakeway with bases loaded here.
Yeah, and Jakeway flew out her first 2, so she was seeing the ball well, then ended up absolutely smashing a 2-run single last inning in the top of the 4th. Looks like Kemp going to take a second and talk things through out there on the mound. So tell you what, while they're talking about it, let's hear again from our good friends over at Golden Chick.
Golden Chick's new Golden Bowl is so big, it's a whole lot of yes and a whole lot of yum. So if you like big bowls, and we cannot lie, the new loaded mashed potato bowl is a whole lot of Golden Chick, a big bowl you can't deny.
There's few things that sound good all the time, but fried chicken always sounds good to me.
Always.
There's never a time that fried chicken doesn't sound good. So, all right. 2 outs here in the inning. First pitch, Jakeway.
She thought about it there for a second.
She did, but lays off of it for ball number 1. 13-7 advantage here for the Lady Panthers. Next pitch is going to be low. Trouble finding where I want that microphone at. There we go. So 2-0 now here to Jakeway. And she's going to hit one high.
That's a nice one.
And play going to be made back in center field, but that had trouble written all over it. But damage is done. 2 more insurance runs tacked across in the top of the frame. 13-7 now the advantage for your Lady Panthers. Let's go ahead and take another short break. We come back, we will bring you the bottom of the fifth right after this here on Cedar Creek Media.
Barks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, back here, ready to get the bottom of the fifth inning going. Leading it off for the Lady Yellow Jackets here in the inning is going to be number 3, second baseman A.J. Who so far tonight has a sac RBI or a sacrifice hit for sacrifice. I guess it wasn't a fly, but it wasn't a bunt either. It was just a ground out. So sacrifice, I guess, that caused an RBI and then also a walk. So officially doesn't have an at-bat tonight, but does have an RBI push through. Let's see what she can do here as her team needs to start getting some runs scratched across here. It's a 13-7 score going into the last bit of this one. All right, so Groom still on the mound. First pitch going to be high for a ball. One-0. Groom comes set, delivers. That one is going to catch the plate for a strike. One pitch is going to be late tapped. Groom going to come up, make a attempt on it, flips it over to Davis. Just couldn't quite get things taken care of there. So it's a good effort, but just not quite. So I guess technically, I'm going to give it a.
Is it raining?
I'm going to give it an infield single because that really was a tough play to be made there by the pitcher, Groom. It was a really good job by Who exploding out of the box towards first. So we're going to mark it down as a single. We'll bring up the catcher, Brooklyn Gibbons. First pitch to her is going to be low, kind of gets away, but good job by Otmo to dig it out. Come up, looked like she was ready to fire, but wasn't a runner. So 1-0 now. Groom sets, fires, and going to be just a bit low. It's a good job there by Gibbons to be able to lay off of it. Looked like she was going to come around, but just enough to let it go. Two-0 pitch, and that one's going to be hit hard. Marker collects it, gets one at second. And that's the way it'll stop. So good job to pick up the leadoff runner there. Great job by Mixon coming back and covering the bag. So it will go down as a fielder's choice. And we'll bring up the first baseman, Marley Moore. Both of her at-bats so far of the night, both came in the second inning. Doubled and struck out in the inning. First pitch to her is going to be high. That's an odd little factoid there. Both your both your at-bats coming in the same inning, a double and a strikeout. Now all the way down to the bottom of the fifth, and she's getting her next cuts. The next pitch got away from Otmo. Does a good job to get it back, send it right back over to Groom to eliminate the potential of any more damage being done on the base paths by the Yellow Jackets. 13-7 here. Again, bottom of the fifth. One out. Got a runner on second. Next pitch going to be swung on and missed. So 2-1 now the count. First baseman Moore digs back in. Waiting on the pitch. And she's going to tap it, and it's going to get between the hole and short and second. And will be a RBI single, so her second hit of the ball game. First RBI. Ends the two-inning scoreless streak for the Mabank Lady Panthers defensively. We'll bring up now the shortstop, Katie Neighbors. Neighbors had a inside-the-park two-run home run back in the second, part of that big inning. Zotmo that time does a good job digging out a pitch and able to check back the runner over at first. As Moore, I think, was thinking about maybe trying to get a run, but when she saw the jump that Otmo had, said, nah, I think I'll just go ahead and stay here. 1-0 pitch, going to be fouled straight back into the crowd. Might be the closest I've ever been to a foul ball. About 8 feet away from me here. Evens things up, 1-1. As Neighbors takes pitch high, goes back in control of the at-bat. 2 balls, 1 strike now. As Groom looks back towards the dugout, gets the pitch call. Now comes back set on the rubber. And pitch is going to be low in the dirt. Otmo has a chance. Throw just a little bit offline. Good job there by Marker, able to knock it down. That could have turned into some real trouble if she doesn't. So excellent defensive play, even if it doesn't result in an out there for JoJo. But now we'll put Neighbors in the hitter's count here, 3-1. Runner now standing on second base. Ooh, had a foul ball from the baseball field. End up in the Kemp softball section over there, fans section. And next pitch is going to be a called strike. So that will even things up 3-2, or excuse me, not even things up, but fill things up 3-2. So payoff pitch coming here for Groom. And going to be fouled straight up in the air. Otmo has a chance and able to make the play. So foul ball going to be caught. So that will be out number 2 of the inning. Now brings up number 15, the left fielder, Chelsea Roscoe. Pitch is going to be high. I'm just realizing, so in this spot earlier, they had another young lady, and I'm just now realizing that this is number 15. I didn't realize, I was just going off the batting order. So this is Chelsea Roscoe, and again, I apologize. I don't know who she's taking the space of because this is the first time we've seen this young lady. So they had it written down differently on the lineup card we were able to get, so I apologize, folks. But now Miss Roscoe is up to bat here. And pitch is going to be inside, but called a strike. So 3-1 now, or excuse me, 2-1. 2-1 the count. And that one's going to be well high. Now 3-1 count. See if Groom can battle her way back in here. Again, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And that will be fouled. So at least battles back to full. Mabank trying to keep it just at 1 run for the Lady Yellow Jackets here in the 5th. Groom checked her little board there, excuse me, her wristband. Now comes set. The pitch is going to be just a little low and outside, so that will be a free pass. Given up to the 7 hole. That will now bring up Miss Chloe Smith. She has singled and lined out to second base so far tonight. Runners on first and second. Groom doing a little attention to the softball there. Getting a couple of spots off of it. Now first pitch was low but offered at there by Smith. So not a very good pitch if we're being honest by why did my brain just completely go blank? Groom. Goodness gracious, I've been saying her name all night. Sometimes it just goes blank on you, but it was a low pitch by Groom. She kind of got bailed out a little bit. So 0-1 pitch. She now comes set and fouled back. Right at the top of the netting. So right where she wants to be. 0-2 now the count. Emery's got some base runners hanging out behind her, so would love to come up with this K to end the threat here for Kemp. 0-2 pitch is going to be high, but I like the spot. You've seen that offered at a few times so far tonight, so go ahead and test the balance. Put it up there. If they do swing, it's probably most likely going to be hit way up in the air, so no harm, no foul. Now here's the 1-2 pitch. Oh, man.
That looked really good.
Yeah, it looked real juicy, but they're going to say just off the plate. So good job here by Smith to get things even back up. 2-2 now the count. Groom toes the rubber and tapped. Mixon going to have to come up, make a play, and does it. So that will be a ground out to second base there for Miss Chloe Smith. And that is the way the half inning will end. So let's go ahead and take another short break. We'll come back right after this here on Cedar Creek Media.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doubleKphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, back to it here. Cedar Creek Media. Again, happy to have you here with us today. Appreciate you all hopping on, joining us. It is a 13-8 advantage for your Mabank Lady Panthers. It was scheduled to be number 21, Haley Gherkin, up to bat to lead off the top of the 6th here, but it looks like we are going to have a substitution, as that is number 4, Mackenzie Juarez, going to be coming in to take a few cuts here. Juarez, a freshman, so having to spend a little time on the bench, but we've seen her be a part of things. Actually got some pretty good talent sitting on the bench so far today. It looks like we still going to be McKenna out on the mound. First pitch to Juarez is going to be high for a ball. One 0 on the way. Juarez takes a big cut, but couldn't make contact. Evens things up 1-1. The next pitch is going to be below the knees for a ball. So Juarez now back up in the count, 2-1 here. And another cut, this time going to be hit, but hit foul. Gets back out behind the Kemp faithful over there along the first base sideline. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Juarez. McKenna taking a little extra time here before getting set. Now she is. Pitch going to be low. Fills things up 3-2. McKenzie trying to reach base in her first appearance tonight. Waits the 3-2. Here it is. Ooh, they say she does not offer. So that will be a walk. Brings up the leadoff hitter, catcher, Aaron Otmo. Otmo so far tonight has a walk, a reach on an error, a sacrifice that resulted in an RBI, a triple, and now an infield single. Kind of banged off the back of McKenna's leg there. And going to end up as a single, but yeah, Juarez just not exactly sure what happened, but not able to get over to second base in time.
Fouled straight back.
And that is the shortstop, JoJo Marker. Had a sacrifice fly back last inning, resulting in an RBI for her. 0-1 pitch is going to be low. So evened up here, 1-1, 1 out, top of the 6th. Runner hanging out on first, as that one is going to be fouled straight back. That's a headache. So now Marker finds herself down 1-2. She's also stricken out, has a single and grounded out to the pitcher, again on a little check swing, as there's now some discussion going on here. Didn't quite see what the talk was about. Oh, okay.
Umpire didn't have a ball.
Yeah, and the fan was trying to stick one through the fence there. So they were able to get one. All right, back to work. 1-2. And that one going to skip. Good job by Otmo. She was about to take off running, but came back to the bag. Count now tied 2-2. And going to be a little inside, maybe a little below the knee as well. So now another full count. I've seen McKenna issue her fair share of these so far tonight. Payoff pitch, going to be hit high in the air. Headache. Ooh. You moved perfectly. Oh, my goodness. That was a young lady was right here. I mean, that literally, if she wouldn't have moved, that would have smoked her. Man, that was about the closest I've ever seen somebody take him off the head. Because, again, these are beautiful ballparks, but I don't know. The spacing out here is just a little off, as there's going to be a hot shot hit to shortstop and another infield single here for your Panthers. That one going to the shortstop, JoJo Marker. But, yeah, again, the ball fields here, like the grass is really well maintained here. That's a really, really nice facility, but only about, whatever would you say, JD, about 20 feet separating the fences here
Probably
between the
like
baseball
that,
and softball fields. So definitely foul balls are a potential hazard here, as the first pitch to Mixon, and this at-bat, is going to end up in the dirt for a ball. Again, Mixon's been very productive so far from the plate. Couple of singles and an inside-the-park home run. Looking to continue to add to her tally here, is she's going to tap another foul ball, or tap a foul ball. So count now sitting at 1-1. Still just the one out here in the top of the sixth. Mabank still got that 5-run advantage, 13-8. Another foul ball by Mixon. That time going to end up close to the parking lot over there. One ball, two strikes. Runner still hanging out on first and second for Mixon. And big cut and a miss. So punch out there. Be the first time she goes down on strikes tonight, and it will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. So the 5th for McKenna tonight. It's now 2 outs. Savannah Phillips going to smack one. She had a little bit of a rough go from the plate tonight, so I think she was really looking forward to that, AB. And goes ahead and smokes one right over into left field for an RBI single. So go ahead and tack one more on for your Lady Panthers. Now a 14-8 advantage. Second hit of the night for Savannah. Had reached on an error, struck out, and had a sac fly RBI up to that point. Now the first baseman, Callie Davis, is the first pitch. Going to bounce over the head of Gibbons and ends up as a 2-bag steal, as JoJo Marker able to steal home, and Trinity Mixon.
Savannah.
Savannah Phillips able to get up over to second base. So Davis has a man now on second, the 2 outs. A 7-run advantage. This would be a good time to plant one over left field fence. She offers that time. It will be a foul. She got just a little piece of it. Evens things back up at 1-1. Set back in the box. McKenna comes set. And that one's going to be hit well. Lingering and going to be caught. So that one only needed about another 5-10 feet, and that would have been a dead center home run. But unfortunately just kind of dies at the fence right there, and we'll go down quietly. So 2 runs scratched across in the top of the 6th. Let's see if the Lady Panthers can put another one of those shutdown innings down. And we'll be back to find out about it right after this.
Jeff Van Horn and his team at Precision Spray Foam want to help you protect your investments and potentially lower your energy bill with a new layer of insulating spray foam for your home, barndominium, or metal building. Why choose Precision Spray Foam? Because they can help deter moisture, improve comfort and air quality, and provide extra strength to your building for years to come, all while being environmentally friendly and cost effective. Jeff and his team make installation a breeze and can retrofit for any need. Call Precision Spray Foam today at 903-880-6323. That's 903-880-6323 for your free estimate today. Precision Spray Foam, part of the Van Horn Construction family and proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Back to it here. Let's see. Umpires came over and said something to Coach Currington. Looks like he's going to wait and explain the same thing back over. So not 100% sure what's going on here. So I think, okay, looks like the official was needing a couple of more softballs, so I had to go over to the Kemp sideline. I thought, for some reason, I thought I heard the word lightning for a second, so I was worried they were going to be shutting this thing down, but it doesn't look like that is going to be the case, so back to it here. First pitch of the bottom of the sixth is going to be called a ball. It is a pitcher's duel going on here as our young lady, Miss Emery Groom, working against their pitcher, Miss Emma McKenna. McKenna so far tonight had a 2 RBI single and grounded out to second base. Next pitch to her will be a called strike. Count now 1-1. And again, the Mabank offense stayed pretty consistent here tonight. Scratching across 5-3-1 and then 2-2-2 in their first 6 frames. Trying to add another shutdown inning here as they've had 2 scoreless innings defensively so far. Trying to go ahead and make that 3 as the next pitch is going to be called a strike as well. So McKenna going to have to be protective here of the strike zone. 2-2 pitch is going to be low. Fills things out here. Groom going to take an extra second. Walk back to the back of the mound. Take a second to focus. Here she comes with it. It's going to be tapped, and Mixon going to make the play. So was not hit very hard, and it was hit right at Mixon. So a good job by her. Keep the concentration. Turns into the first out of the inning. It will flip over the order. Bring up the third baseman, Madison Haney, Doubled, singled, and struck out so far tonight. We saw Groom use that pitch, that breaking ball, to her advantage the last time these guys played. I saw a shadow. I got reactionary there. 1-0 pitch is going to be offered at by Haney. Yeah, when everybody's looking the other way and you see a shadow, you just that automatic, ooh.
Yep.
At least I got some kind of survivor instinct, you know. So 1-1 here now to the leadoff hitter, Haney. Pitch is going to be high around the eyes. So 2-1 now, the count. Again, Haney is doubled and singled, has an RBI, but struck out in her last appearance in the 4th inning. It's going to be a foul straight back. Yep. Count now set at 2-2. Haney climbs back in. Groom sets back up. And, he's trying another breaking pitch there. I think it was really just like a soft pitch throw. Trying to get Haney off balance, but just kind of falls out of the hand. Doesn't have the command that she was wanting. And, gonna get her looking.
Right there.
Yeah.
Threw that high arcer before it and then just put the gas down the pipe.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that was just the ultimate setup pitch there, getting the eyes way up high and way behind. And that was just straight heat homie right there. So now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll bring up number 2, Allie Pringle, who is taking her 3rd set of cuts from the plate from the right side tonight. We've also seen her hit once lefty. So I guess she's more comfortable on the right side of the plate, but has the ability to go to the left side as well.
As Groom sets back up, we'll put one in there right down the middle right there for a strike. Of course, the board not changing yet. Looks like 1-1 there on the pitches.
Oh, sorry, JD. Thank you, sir.
Quick thinking.
Oh, it's going to be kind of a weak offer there by Pringle. She's upset with herself. So 1-2. Yeah, the dust and wind is starting to get me. I had to sneeze there. 1-2 pitch. Oh, that was a bad pitch, but Pringle bails her out of it. So that will be another strikeout there for Emery Groom. So we are now going into the top of the 7th. Mabank just got to hold on here, and they will be able to take one home tonight. Let's go ahead and take another short break, and we'll come back right after this here on Cedar Creek Media.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doubleKphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, so here we go. Ready to start off the final frame of action here, as your Mabank Lady Panthers holding on to a 7-run advantage, 15-8. Got 3 more outs to work with the bats, and then we'll just have to go and try and shut it down in the bottom of the 7th, and we'll be out of here. And again, looks like the weather is going to play nice and hold off for us. And I tell you, weather prediction might be the most overpaid and under, whatever I'm trying to say. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can be a weatherman just by going and standing outside, putting a finger up and going, yeah, I think the wind's blowing 4 miles to the east. And, I think that's about as good of a prediction as you get. You know what I mean? So Emery Groom at bat. She took a ball on the first pitch. Next pitch is going to be high around the chin, so it'll be ball number 2. But, yeah, no, it seems like anytime they say it's not going to rain, it gets a torrential downpour. And then anytime they say it's going to rain, it just turns out to be a beautiful night. I mean, this is just about perfect baseball weather right here. As the next pitch is going to be a little low. So 3 balls now. Sky looks nice out there and everything, you know, JD?
Sure does.
Next pitch to Groom is going to be right above the knees for a strike. So Emma going to get herself back into it here, but Groom has got the hitter's count 3-1 and going to be fouled back. Another headache. Lands down on the grass. So full count now, 3-2. And, just an offer there by Groom. She's not going to be happy with herself if she sees the replay of that, but it is what it is. So we'll now bring up Emmy Barnes. The Emma and Emmy battle continuing on. First pitch going to be high for a ball. Checking back over on that score. Looks like Canton's still in control over in that Yellow Jacket and Eagle game. 5-0. Is that what you said, JD?
Yep.
5-0. Ooh, next pitch. Going to sail there on Emma. That will be now 2-0. Barnes. Been pretty productive from the plate so far tonight. Looking to tack one more on. And going to be a foul ball. So Barnes so far tonight has reached on an error, singled and picked up an RBI, struck out and walked. So, again, been active at the plate. Nothing, crazy to write home about or anything like that, but has definitely been a part of the offensive output here for the Lady Panthers.
Doing a job, as they call it.
Yes, sir. 2-1 pitch now on the way, and that one's going to be low. Looked like it just kind of fell out of the hand there. We'll put Miss Barnes now in the hitter's count of 3-1. And again, can't take for granted any runs, as we saw Mabank able to build up that huge lead over Athens the last time we were out, and unfortunately weren't able to get that one finished. So trying to avoid doing the same thing here as Barnes going to slap one, ends up in left field for a CNI single. Will be now make her 2 for 4 from the plate. Again, had a walk as well, so did reach on an error as well, so has gotten on base 4 out of 5 times. That will bring up Miss Journey Jakeway. She had a smash back in the 4th inning, 2 RBI single. So far has been her only hit for tonight, but she's been hitting the ball well, flown out to right field and center field, as well as had one that was a foul tip caught back behind by the catcher. So she's made contact, just unfortunately a few times tonight has hit it right where they are. Next pitch is going to be low for a ball, so evens up the count 1-1. Still just the 1 out. Runner on first. Jakeway sits waiting. Next pitch going to be low for a ball. Two 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's going to be low as well. So Jakeway finds herself in a good spot. 3-1 now the count. 3-1 pitch on the way, going to be swung at. Jakeway thought it was in a really good spot for her there. It was a little low and on the inside part of the plate. Just couldn't quite get the bat head to it. Fills it up, 3-2. Jakeway quickly steps back in and now is going to send a shot over to third. Just not quite able to be handled. Left fielder going to have to come up and make the play. So that will be officially a reach on an error for Jakeway, as Haney just couldn't quite hang on to it there on third. We'll now bring up Miss Haley Gherkin. She got substituted for in the last time her spot was up. Juarez came in, picked up a walk. Other than that, so far, Haley has got 2 walks and a strikeout, so still looking to get the ball or bat on the ball for the first time tonight. 1-0 pitch is going to be called a strike. Got Barnes and Jakeway at first and second, respectively. Gherkin looking to bring them in. Actually, she's going to drop down the bunt and be able to move both runners another 60 feet. So it'll go down as a sack bunt. And we'll bring off the leadoff hitter, your catcher, number Alarin. Another Alarin. It is Aaron, so, close enough. Alarin.
There you go. At least she hit a triple her last at bat.
So Otmo going to smoke the first thing she sees. Shortstop able to step up, make the play, but not able to get the catch there on first. So that will bring around 2 more runs to score here for your Lady Panthers, as both Barnes and Jakeway come around to score. That will go down as a reach on error the second time for Otmo tonight. Opens the score now to 17-8. You have got your shortstop, number 13, JoJo Marker, stepping in. Last time Marker was up, she smacked a single. And takes a strike on the first pitch. Didn't offer at it, but apparently he just snuck right into the batter's box there. Oh, 1 pitch going to be hit high in the air. And,
oh no.
Almost a beautiful play made there by the center fielder, Allie Pringle. She got to it, just not quite able to keep the squeeze. So, man, it's hard to give her an error on that, but I think I'm going to have to. But just absolute effort there from Allie Pringle.
That was a lot of distance.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Like I said, sometimes it's hard to mark these errors down as what they are, but in the official book, if you get the squeeze on it, you should catch it. But I'm telling you, that was out of a 10 out of 10 difficulty, that one was for sure a 10.
Might have been a 15.
Might have been, especially for my fat butt. I wasn't getting over there, I promise you that. Mixon going to hit one that gets through between third. That will score a run. So Otmo is going to come around to score. That will be now 18-8, so 10-run difference. We'll bring up Savannah Phillips. Going to have another chance to pick up a couple of RBIs here. First pitch is going to be low, gets past, and that is going to be another run. Two runs.
Oh!
That was just unfortunate there. Because, again, Kemp just having trouble holding on to the ball. But that is going to be 2-run score as Marker and Mixon both able to come around on the air. So Phillips goes from a totally or almost totally loaded. She had 2 on to now nobody on. And it is now it does tie. It ties Mabank's biggest output so far of the game, matching the first inning. So 5 runs going to be pushed across. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a discussion on the mound here for the Yellow Jackets. So for one last time tonight, let's hear from our friends over at Golden Chick.
Golden Chick's new Golden Bowl is so big, it's a whole lot of yes and a whole lot of yum. So if you like big bowls, and we cannot lie, the new loaded mashed potato bowl is a whole lot of Golden Chick, a big bowl you can't deny.
All right. Appreciate Mr. Bell and the Golden Chick franchise for supporting Cedar Creek Media. We always appreciate it. Of course, if you are a Lady Panther, athletics fan, Mr. Bell's granddaughter. She is she's something else. That's Honey Aldridge, by the way, if you don't know that. That's Honey Aldridge, the freshman sensation basketball player for your Mabank Lady Panthers. All right, so we are back to Savannah Phillips at bat here as pitch is going to be grooved in for a strike. We'll take it now to a 1-1 count. They had it up at 0-0, but I knew there was at least one pitch thrown before that. So evened up, 1-1 is the count. And Phillips now going to smoke one over into right field. And it gets away, and Phillips going to be happy to take an extra base. And that will be a double now for Savannah Phillips. They'll bring up Callie Davis, who is the last one of the order for the Lady Panthers. And they will have gone around, so if Davis is able to keep the inning going, it would bring up Emery Groom, and that would be her second AB of the inning. First pitch to Davis, going to catch the inside part of the plate for a strike. Davis trying to tack on potentially lucky run number 21, maybe even 22. As Mabank now nursing that healthy 12-run lead, 20-8. Davis back into the box. Next pitch is going to be smoked, and it ends up in left field. And that will be an RBI single for Callie Davis, as Savannah Phillips able to make the trot all the way around. So Callie probably happy about that. It's actually her first RBI of the night, her 4th hit, 3 singles now and a double, but that will be her first RBI. As we said, Groom has already batted in this inning. She struck out to start the inning. So Kemp started this inning out pretty quickly, but it has fallen apart for him here. Now Groom waits, is going to hit it, ends up in the hands of the shortstop, but
and she's able to beat it out.
She beats it out. Infield single there for Groom, and we will now see Emmy Barnes, come back in. She'll be the second double hitter of the inning. She started off the kind of rally going here with a single, a 1-out single. See if she's able to keep it going. 2 outs, runners on first and second. First pitch going to be high for a ball. Barnes set again. And going to hit one straight up in the air. And it will be caught by Who over at second base. So that ends the explosion there for the Lady Panthers. But it might be a little too late for the Kemp Lady Yellow Jackets. They are going to have to scratch across 14 runs, at least 13, but 14 if they want to win this thing. So they have got a lot of work to do if they want to do that. So let's go ahead and take one final break, and then we'll come back to wrap it up here in Kemp right after this.
Jeff Van Horn and his team at Precision Spray Foam want to help you protect your investments and potentially lower your energy bill with a new layer of insulating spray foam for your home, barndominium, or metal building. Why choose Precision Spray Foam? Because they can help deter moisture, improve comfort and air quality, and provide extra strength to your building for years to come, all while being environmentally friendly and cost-effective. Jeff and his team make installation a breeze and can retrofit for any need. Call Precision Spray Foam today at 903-880-6323. That's 903-880-6323 for your free estimate today. Precision Spray Foam, part of the Van Horn Construction family and proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
All right, so ready to get the final half well, again, let me say potential final half inning here.
Yeah, right.
You know, that broadcaster's cursing me. We have got a fickle relationship, JD. And you're learning. You're learning. There's been a couple times this year it's got you. It's been a couple times.
It gets pretty bad.
But it is a 21-8 advantage for your Lady Panthers. Leading off the half inning for Kemp will be A.J. Hu. So far tonight, she has got a sacrifice that resulted in an RBI. She's also got a single and a walk, so really officially just 1 for 1 here tonight. So pretty good.
Not half bad.
All right, Groom looking to finish this thing out. First pitch is going to be just a little bit high. That will be ball 1. Of course, they've got their big closer in Savannah Phillips, kind of the fireballer of the crew, but with the 13-run advantage, I think Mabank is feeling comfortable about it, and really honestly, Groom has given you some very, very good innings. Again, that second inning kind of got away. It wasn't really necessarily all, not all, but really a lot of it wasn't her fault, if we're being honest with you. Defense just kind of got a little bit sloppy. But, since then, man, she's been dealing. Other than those those 6 anomalous runs in the bottom of the second, just 2 scored against her. So, been pretty dominant here tonight. 1-1 pitch now is going to be another breaking ball. Looks like it just kind of, again, fell out maybe of the hand a little bit too early. By the way, I don't think I ever announced. Oh, yeah, I guess I did say that Who was up to bat. So 2-1 pitch is going to be a strike right at the number. So it's about as high as you can get it and still get called a strike. But that is exactly what Groom's been doing tonight, working top to bottom and left to right. It's what kept these Kemp hitters off balance. Now this one's going to be floated out to right field, and Fernandez just not able to quite get up and make the play, so it is going to be a lead-off triple.
Phew.
So Who now officially 2 for 2 on the night. Turns that one into a triple. We'll bring up the catcher now, Miss Brooklyn Gibbons. Gibbons so far has hit into a fielder's choice, flown out to shortstop, and has a single. So 1 for 3 for her. No outs, runner on third. Groom going right back to work here in the bottom of the 7th. And first pitch is going to be high. 1-0 count now to Gibbons. And next pitch couldn't quite tell. Looks like maybe Groom wanted that to have a little movement to it and just kind of ended up staying flat, stayed high. So down 2-0 now. Next pitch is going to be hit high in the air and up to make the play and toss it in. Oh, almost able to get the double play there. Was center fielder. I apologize. Who was that out there? That's Gherkin out there making a fantastic effort. So Kemp going to be able to scratch across a run on the sacrifice fly there for Gibbons. We'll now bring up first baseman Marley Moore. Moore so far tonight, a single resulted in an RBI, a double, and a strikeout.
And that off speed, man.
Just locks up hitters. I mean, she doesn't use it a ton, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whenever she does, she uses it in very effective ways. It's almost like a surprise pitch, you know?
It's a way to just get that batter to freeze.
0-1, and again going to throw her some junk. So we've seen a couple of low breaking balls. See if I can go 2 for 2 on the night on the high fastball prediction. That one wasn't quite as elevated, but still got the hard ball through. Now 1-2. Moore down to her last strike here. And, going to be hit foul right at her first base coach there. So she'll come back, do it again. And again, Groom going for the complete game here tonight. Of course, more common in softball than baseball, but you still don't see it all the time, as the next pitch is going to be a little low. So Moore's got herself back even in the count here, 2-2. Groom pitch is going to get her. Whoo! That's a couple we've seen tonight.
Right there.
Yeah, we've seen a few struck out lookings tonight. And again, it's just the ability of Groom to be able to go up and down and left to right. Now, a lot of pitchers, they maybe have some break or something like that so they can go high and low. But the ability to really go side to side on the plate as well is a big difference. Just gives you a full attacking area. And Groom is able to take full advantage of all of it. All right, now here is the shortstop. Katie Neighbors takes a strike on the first pitch. Shortstop has the biggest hit of the game so far for Kemp. 2-run inside the park home run. Next pitch is going to be tapped. This could potentially be the game ender, and that's it.
It is.
So how about that? Emery Groom able to clean up the last base runner on the play as she gets the complete game 21-9 win for your Mabank Lady Panthers. And it's a good times in Mabank land here tonight, JD.
Sure is. Well, not quite Mabank land, but
well, the viewership land. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Listen to what I mean, not what I say,
not
JD. You know what I mean? So.
I'll accept that. I'll accept it.
Well, again, Panthers fans, we will be back in action on Saturday, 1 o'clock, as the Mabank Panther baseball team hosts Kaufman. And that'll be another fun one. And had another good time with you here tonight, JD. We do appreciate everybody that tuned in with us. Thank you to all the sponsors. And for Cedar Creek Media, I'm Taylor Honey.
I'm JD Bird.
We'll talk to you next time. Thank you, folks.
This concludes tonight's broadcast on Cedar Creek Media. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us again soon.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.